Looks like it's round 3. And, well, this hand's either gonna be really sweet or horrendous, depending on how well they can play around days. Now, a lot of Pauper decks can't really play around dazes that well, since, they're super land light, like myself. But if they just happen to have a slow hand, where they think they're going to be destroyed because their hand is really slow, but turns out they just have a bunch of lands, then these dazes are going to be awful. Also, it's worth noting that Daze can't really protect Phantasmal Bear. On account of it dying whenever anything looks at it funny. So this is either like Kiln Fiend or... Yeah, okay. Looks like probably Drake. And these dazes should be quite good since they have a lot of expensive cards. So hopefully this means they're about to try and Flame Slash my Delver. And then I'll be very happy they didn't kill them the other way around, in which case I wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Like if they just lightning bolted this guy and then say Flame Slash the other one, then I would be up a creek, so to speak. And now my opponent is contemplating what just happened. But, it's not a common scenario to be fighting against illusion creatures, so, it's not like, wow, what an obvious punt. On the other hand, 4 of our 15 lands is quite a lot. We're going to have to maybe draw like a Preordain or a Gush or something and get us back on target. A Ninja would have been acceptable there too also. Yeah, I don't think I can realistically just fire off both dazes to counter that Firebolt. I think I can counter that though. Try and keep them low on lands, hopefully. We don't know that they don't have another land. And they have the best land. It's gonna go south pretty fast, I am afraid to say. Now, it is reasonable to say that our deck is quite weak against the Drake decks. And not the combo. Like, the combo doesn't matter at all. But the fact that they have, like 9... between 8 to 10 main deck 1 mana removal spells. And board into like a bunch of Pyroblasts means that it's really difficult to get an offense going at all. Well, there's a Gush, so I'm pretty happy about that. On the other hand, I want to draw the Fairy Miscreant first, I suppose. So I'll go ahead, play Fairy Miscreant. If they are cheeky and try and firebolt it, I will consider dazing it. Just so I can get my ninja in. So we're not out of it completely. We can draw like unbelievable gods and still get there. But every fight against this deck is... Well, every match against this deck is a fight. But, that's what happens when they're just a good deck. Against the... Oh dear. Against the Tron versions, I actually think we're pretty favoured. Since they, instead of removal spells, they just have a bunch of moments pieces. And we don't care about those at all, so that's all nice. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and daze that, because I think the only realistic way of us winning this game is if we like ninja out here, Gush into some stuff. It's not gonna be pretty, but I think that's the only way we're doing it. I don't think we can realistically wait with no pressure and hope to try and daze like a Muldrifter or anything like that, because they can just not play anything. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Definitely not gonna win with these ones, I think. Although I suppose if they merely flash back a firebolt onto this ninja, we can whip out this other ninja. Okay. Would have been fairly good to draw like a snap or something there. And there's the Izzard Boilerworks. It would have just turned off all of our dazes from now until the end of time anyway. So still looking for the drawing like gods part of our plan. There's Akitaxian Probe. I mean, it's not completely implausible that we're going to look at their hand now and see 4 lands. That's definitely not 4 lands. That is death. That is almost certainly death. There's no even any point to bluff counterspell since they have multiple Muldrifters. Good lord, what are we supposed to do? It's not like we can try to hit dazes or anything, so I mean, it's not outrageous to just concede when looking at their hand there, but I'll give it like a turn or two. Yeah, dazes aren't that good against them since they do have like a bunch of okay. Considering they drew into real spells, it's fine. Like if they just drew into like 2 lands and then Muldrifted into more lands, it might have been alright, but yeah, that wasn't going to happen. So here's the thing with Hydroblast in this matchup. It only counters the burn spells, and that's just not very good. I mean, they might have like Electricity or something, but it's too narrow. Like the problem is they're overwhelming with burn spells, and we can't protect our guys because there's so many. Even if we had a deck full of Hydroblasts, it wouldn't actually be that great. Dispel, it does this similar thing, except it can hit counter spells. Stormbound Geist isn't that great, but it's at least something. And we have the option for Piracy Charm to maybe mise them, like make them discard a relevant card. So we're taking out Snap, and we're taking out Paper Snags because we can't use them on the opponent's things, because that's just too terrible. There's nothing else that's completely atrocious. So we have like the option of like 1 Hydroblast, like maybe 2 Hydroblasts at most, or Piracy Charm. I think I'm just gonna go with 1 Hydroblast. Like when you're bringing in sideboard cards, you want them to be actively impactful, and the opportunities to actually do anything other than trade 1 for 1 on equal mana terms with your Hydroblast against these guys, it's pretty low. See, like there's even no targets for it. So go ahead and write these down. Mountain, Island, Cave, Cliffs. I don't need to write those down. I know what they are. So if they don't draw a 1 mana removal spell this turn, think we might be alright, since if they draw them in near future, we can spell stutter sprite them. I would really like us to draw some action starting next turn though. Cycling Forgotten Cave. They still have like Island Mountain in their hand. Okay, it's conceivable that I should be jamming out a spell stutter sprite, but nah, it's fine. They've got enough things that I want to hit. So given that they haven't played any like 1-mana things to counter yet, I think I can put my shields down temporarily just to draw a card here. I know they can make a Seagate Oracle next turn to like brick this. So they have 2 mountains and an island as well. I know they can brick the ninja with the Seagate Oracle, but that's fine. I got a card out of it and extra damage. And maybe my Delver will flip for once in its life. Dang. So they obviously played around days there, which I appreciate the upside of days, that when you don't draw it and they play around it anyway. Oh man, such rough beats. Imagine their life total. I've hit them 4 times, or 2 times with this. There's a Sea Oracle. I'm not gonna do anything about that, unfortunately. I should hopefully be able to protect this Delver, okay? Well, I'll gratefully accept countering that preordain. Another Delver? Okay. So they played around days earlier. It wouldn't be unreasonable for them to try and play around it again. So I'll let this resolve because they're probably going to go get like a lightning bolt, which I can probably do something about. They may well be trying to cast it now in order to induce me to use a daze, but unluckily for them I have more spell starter sprites. I suppose I should gush now, because if I draw Brainstorm I can cast it and set up my Delvers. Oh hey, look, they weren't going to flip again. Hooray! They did it. So we can, if we ponder, then like make a Fairy Miscreant, we can actually counter like a 4-drop. But I'm gonna ponder to try and find a counter spell, since we know they've got Drake and like Ghostly Flicker coming up. But at least I can probably. I think I'll just shuffle these, even though these are cards I sort of want. I really wanted to just draw a counter spell to counter the Peregrine Drake. and then relax. So I decided to play that card out because if they play Drake and then try and do the counter thing, do the combo thing with Ghostly Flicker, I can Spell Start Sprite the Ghostly Flicker, even though they might kill one of my fairies. If they've drawn Electro, yeah, I think I have to let this resolve. Unfortunately, since I still can't allow them to play a land, play Drake. Yeah. Time to try and do something. Well, it got Pyroblasted. And we were going to get Pyroblasted anyway, so it's better that we get Pyroblasted now rather than on a turn where they just infinite combo kill us. I mean, we still do have a reasonable Air Force. They could easily be digging for like another 1 mana spell. So I'm gonna Ponder. We have a... Wow, Dispel? Is that good enough? And I really don't want the other two though. So I'm gonna shuffle. Gonna make a Miscreant since I can draw a card from it. Play another Miscreant. And I'm gonna just leave up this mana. Even though they'll probably, like, if they need to go for something, they'll probably just go for it. So, I mean, we knew they had a flicker in their hand at some point, but we don't... They just conceded. So they were so convinced that we had a daze or something that they just conceded and instead of playing Drake. I mean, it's possible that the rest of their hand is just all air, but it can't be because they haven't been playing lands. So if they just play like Drake into stuff, they can like block, block, block. I guess they can't. Okay, never mind. If they don't have another Ghostly Flicker, then they're doomed. Never mind. Ignore me. So that was fairly sweet. I mean, the value of days is still relatively low considering how hard they're playing around it, but there's still chances, and like every other card's fairly bad. They draw so many cards that Piracy Charm isn't actually that great. Like, if they didn't draw as many cards, you would actually be semi-favourite to mise a good card out of their hand after a certain amount, but with bounce lands and Seagate Oracles and stuff like that, it's pretty difficult to get them. So yep, let's just go. And yeah, I didn't see any red cards that cost more than one, so I'll just stick to playing more creatures rather than trying to keep my 1 mana creatures alive with 1 mana spells countering their 1 mana spells. Alrighty, time for the deciding game. The Kepler 7. Bad start for us. And they didn't open up with a mountain, so our first creature will be safe on the first turn at least. Wow. No mountains, please. So I'm gonna... Oh. Gonna go ahead and play Delver. If they don't draw mountain, then they won't be able to Electrocute it. Yeah, we did it. So I think I will. I think I should probably just take these, right? take this. Probe them again. They drew another Pyroblast. And hopefully we can like overwhelm them before they draw into multiple red mana. If we get to like untap and have a spell starter sprite up for the first thing, okay, I think like if this Delver flips right here, I think the game is over. If it doesn't, then I think our clock is still a bit slow. Alright, it did not flip. And it's not going to flip here. Now we can... I don't really want to take the Delver and like try and set up like a double Delver flip since they still have Electricity. So I'm just going to shuffle my library. Probe them again. And I have 2 RKO now. Ah, now we have a Daze. I think that means we get to go ahead and tap out this turn. Aha, see, this Delver I think I'll keep since I'll be able to protect it in the future. But I didn't want to just lay multiple 1 toughness guys out this turn. Phantasmal Bear is fine because it has 2 toughness. Is it Boilerworks? Well, that is a red source, but I think it's going to be too slow. And they're also going to be like discarding to hand size. Probably one of the Archaeomancers, I have to imagine. Yep. See, now I was thinking of stacking it in order for the following Delver to be flipped, not this one. Alright, so if I do this, then if I play this Delver, they can play a land and then play Electricity. Then I can spell start sprite it, since while it's on the stack it still only has like a 1 converted mana cost, even though the overload is being played. And if they have drawn into counterspell this turn, then I can daze them. And then these Delvers are flipping. So they're priced into it. I don't think they can't possibly not go for it, because if they just wait to my upkeep, then these things get killed. These things get flipped, then they get killed. And yeah, that was, you know, I think they were totally fine to keep their hand. If it's a bit risky, I mean, you have to accept that some amount of the time that you're going to die if you just keep a hand like that. But if they just happen to draw, like if they drew this in like turn 2, we would have had a tougher match for sure. I don't know. And also if we just have a semi-threat light hand or slow hand, but they don't know how many 1-drops are running, so see you next round.